Representative McCarty of the 38th District, ma'am, you have the floor.
If I may make a comment and then direct a very few questions to the proponent of the bill. First, I'd just like to point out that, and it's been said repeatedly today, that we are facing here in the state a real epidemic in opiate abuse. And just to point out that in our district alone at Lawrence and Memorial Hospital in the month of March, within a 4-hour period, 4 different cases were treated with Narcan and brought to the hospital and saved lives. So there are aspects and facets of this bill that throughout are really going to be saving lives. So I'm very pleased to stand today in strong support of the bill and to be part of the Public Health Committee working in a bipartisan manner to address the very severe problems that the state is facing in this regard. But if I may direct a few questions through you, Mr. Speaker, to the proponent of the bill.
Please proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My question goes, and it's been alluded to earlier in lines 21 through 28, about offering immunity to the healthcare professionals that distribute Narcan. And if I may, to the proponent, is there a limit to how many times a healthcare professional could administer the Narcan, and is there a record kept of that?
Representative Ritter.
Through you, there is no limit, and I assume there's a record kept, just like any other medical treatment. They probably would put something in a note somewhere for purposes of tracking that through you.
Representative McCarty.
Thank you for that answer. My next question deals with the municipality's primary emergency medical services providers, the first responders. And the line, I believe it's line 45 or thereabouts, talks about the first responders will have some sort of training. Could the proponent of the bill just explain what type of training that would be and how it would be performed?
Representative Ritter.
Yes, through you. It's been rolled into what's called the EMS instruction training. And so the commissioners approved it, but it's just rolled into an existing training program they already have. Through you.
Representative McCarty.
Thank you for that answer. And then finally, I'd just like to comment on the Connecticut Alcohol and Drug Policy Council. I think it was a tremendous addition to add the new members and the subcommittee. And if the piece of language, I believe, on line 100, does that allow for new additional members to be part of the council?
Representative Ritter.
It does on the subcommittees through you. Yes, absolutely. And so if you can think of other persons who would be good, it'd be a good conversation to have with the existing committee members and co-chairpersons through you.
Representative McCarty.
I thank you for the good chair for that response, because I do, statistics have shown and data that a lot of the addiction begins in the teenage years, early years, so I think it's really imperative that we look at that piece of the subcommittee work and perhaps ask for some of the school administrators to be part of that council. So I thank you for that response. And then just one final comment. Again, I think that this is a tremendous piece of legislation that puts Connecticut in the forefront, and I'm very pleased to see that we are also looking at early intervention education so that we can try to put a stop to this tremendous epidemic that's facing our state. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, ma'am.